Jeszcze tego brakowało. Może nie róbcie mi głupstw.
You could have such a prize lead at that point. You don't care if you go back and forth one hit for one hit because you establish so many energy on these Dracolics at this point. Carson is setting up to potentially go Dragapult, Dragapult, Dragapult.
Niechaj nas ten kompem dziś, no.
The other thing that playing this slowly does for Carson is that it gives him just more time to thin his deck, to get rid of cards that he doesn't want to see anymore. You know, finding those Ultra Balls in order to discard those evolution pieces that he's not going to find. And speaking of Ultra Ball, he was able to find a couple of them from this determination.
No na pewno jest Draka. Ale
yeah, I see that in there. I also see the Latias, but I think, and I would like to see Carson be content with not getting aggressive here. Don't retreat and start attacking. I guess another piece for that combination that I mentioned is a jamming tower. To kill the Latias off the bench, it does have that extra 30 HP from the Lively Stadium.
So this is a really interesting spot because Carson has found that second jamming tower off of this recon directive, but he's choosing to send it to the bottom of the deck. And I think that's because he's waiting for a play where he can combo it all into play all at once and not have it get ripped out of his hand by the Absol EX on towards the end.
Yeah, that is possible. It's trying to protect the cards. That is something that Dracula can do very well in this matchup, is you know where your important cards are, so you can increase your odds of finding them later in the game with how you sequence your turn.
Just a pass from Carson. Once again, maybe someone will start attacking at some points in this game. We'll see which one of these players will be the one to strike first. Is it now the time for Tord? Now that he has gotten his board established, he has 2 energy on Monkey Dory. He has energy on Psyduck, and no, it is not the time, Azul.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think at this point from Tord, you just wait to set up your Kangaskhan fully now. Like, I was going to say, if we took this long initially, if this is how Tord feels like the matchup is best played, then we go further. We take more time, and we are truly, I think, just waiting for Carson to take the first attack. A question that might come up eventually, though, is who decks out first. And at that point, that player will have to be the initiator.
What an interesting spot. I mean, this is what high-level Pokemon play is all about. I feel like in the early rounds of tournaments, if you saw a couple of players in this matchup playing against each other, they just start attacking right away. Yes, I drew my attack, I'm piecing things together, but this is what the game at a high level can do. It's waiting, biding your time, playing as carefully as possible, and that is what both these players have chosen to do at this point. Carson using all 3 recon directives, getting through the deck, adding a few more cards to the hand, protecting some good cards on the bottom as well, saving them from Mega Absol, and Dragapult EX has been added to his arsenal. There's another energy card, so could retreat the Monkey Dory. He could start attacking. Is now the time.
Yeah, has the boss's orders. Now might be the time. Last turn was maybe the time. When is the time is the question. And it really just comes down to when Carson thinks the time is. And what are you looking for? Are we going to punch into the Kangaskhan? Are we going to go for a gust play? There is the boss. And is going to be aggressive about going after the Mega Absol. Honestly, that is the biggest threat on board. I kind of like this play from Carson.
Yeah, just hitting into this Pokemon, setting up a bunch of damage, trying to set up for a 2-hit knockout on this Mega Absol EX. Now, Tord is playing 3 copies of Penny. That is a factor here. Tord could be using that to just pick up this Mega Absol EX, erase his turn from Carson.
Yeah, that would be, you could basically almost fully erase his turn from Carson. You could remove the 6 damage counters that will make their way to a bench Monkey Dory here, it looks like. Move this over to Carson's side. Pick up your Absol with the Penny, but you're resetting your energy at that point. You don't actually have an attacker set up to swing into Carson on this turn. It looks like the damage is going to be split between the Latias and the Monkey Dory on the bench. And now I'm very interested to see what Tord does. This is a point where Tord can go for that terminal period attack from the Absol. There is 6 damage counters in play to move over to the active Dragapult and then KO it with the terminal period. But then you lose your Absol on the following turn. I don't think Tord is too happy about that. So let's see if he comes up with something different here.
Does have that Penny in hand, so that could be a line. He is going to move 3 damage counters off Latias. He's putting them on the active Pokemon, Azul, so it's like terminal period could be being lined up. Does this mean if Tord is going with Absol here, is he going to be relying on his Kangaskhan to carry him through the end of this game?
It might be.
He's actually only put 2 damage counters on.
It is depending on the Absol.
Yeah, he has only put 2 damage counters onto this Dragapult EX. He is moving into the Mega Kangaskhan. Going to use that run errand. Is he going to just re-bench the Absol and start to set it up once again?
that might be the play. That is a boss's orders gone from Carson, and that might be the resource that Tord is targeting through this line. Every time Carson bosses, you follow up with a penny, you bench the Absol back down. There is no threat of the Claw of Darkness on the next turn, but the terminal period is still available. Yes, wow, this is really interesting here. And that 1 damage counter is on the Latias EX, so Tord can pop that over next turn if he'd like to, so that threat is there. Of course, Carson does have his own Monkey Dory, so his own Adrenabrain could answer the play from Tord, but it will just have to move it to 1 Pokemon, so Tord can always ping-pong it back over to Carson's side. Yeah, this is a very interesting back and forth here. Tord also does have the advantage in the stadium back and forth. Only 1 Jamie Tower left for Carson. Does find the Luminous for the Monkey Dory, so that's a possibility, but no major KOs are going to be available for Carson, and only 1 boss's orders remaining for Gust Effects. Unless Counter Catcher gets active, I don't think Tord's going to give that over to Carson. Yeah, what a game, what a spot here for these 2 players. Carson's using a couple recon directives. He's added an absolute book of cards to his hand at this point. There is the Luminous Energy for Monkey Dory, so we can get that 3 damage counters off of his Dragapults. Looks like he will place it, yep, onto Absol EX, that Mega Absol on Tord's bench. Pushing forward a little bit of extra damage here, setting up for maybe an easier KO line. And will Carson attack here? Will he want to put that extra damage in play for Tord to play with? Yeah, it could be a little scary. I think if you're attacking here, I mean, for how Carson's playing so far, I think we're going for an attack here. Going to load up probably all 6 on the bench, Absol possibly. Yeah. And then from Carson there, you're scared of Penny again, I think. Penny on the Mega Kangaskhan, removing all of that damage from play. And then the terminal period is available to Tord as well. This is where Tord wanted to be in the first game, but the lack of the Psyduck really messed up his flow. Now we're seeing exactly how Tord wants to play this matchup. Yeah, and this is going to work out, I think, pretty nicely for Tord. He can go for that play. Use the Penny on the active Mega Kangaskhan. Push up the Mega Absol EX and move 4 damage counters from his side of the field over to Carson's Dragapult. Just take it out. Terminal period gets the KO. And that energy switch is not a bad card to find to unlock some other potential attackers in the future as well. Yeah, we could even see that happen this turn to conserve that energy off the Mega Kangaskhan, move that to the Absol on the bench, penny up the Kangaskhan, and then attach return to the Kangaskhan out of hand to begin to build that up into more of a threat. Might not feel like it's necessary. Maybe the Absol is just going to carry Tord here through the rest of this game. We'll probably need 1 more attacker. The Ursaluna in the late game, something like that would maybe be enough. Really, really interesting spot. How does Tord want to approach it? There is a penny waiting in the hand, so it's on the table for him if he wants it. Going to start with the Monkey Dory Adrenabrains, and will just move 1 damage counter from this Absol with the second Adrenabrain, 3 from the first. So that is a total of 6 damage counters onto Dragapult. This is telling of Tord's play here. I do believe what he is going to go for. Terminal period incoming. A little bit of a discussion about some damage movement potentially. It looks like everything is going to be okay though. Yeah, it seems to be all cleared up. And yeah, I think Tord is telegraphing pretty well here. The play is eyeing up the E-switch to conserve the energy attachment for a turn, to start to build up that next threat. And I think the penny's probably coming down here. With switching it, yeah, okay, so we'll use the energy switch, penny, pick up the Kangaskhan, and then bench it down to put another energy onto this Kangaskhan to make that the next threat. Yep, and he's going through the motions now at this point. The line of play has been revealed from Tord. Carson knows what's coming at this point. And honestly, the board is looking really, really good for Tord. Got to play this matchup out exactly as he wanted to. And like you said, Kangaskhan going to be a follow-up. Tord will probably need a follow-up, and it looks like Kangaskhan is going to be that follow-up threat. Kangaskhan comes down to the field. Bravery Charm, Lively Stadium, boosting its HP up. And will receive an energy attachment for the turn. And terminal period KOs this Dragapult DX for Carson, getting rid of his A-Spec, his Neo Upper Energy, and more importantly, his attacker goes down. Tord will take another Monkey Dory off the prize cards. Not a bad thing for him to note and have access to potentially. And now Carson here. Tord has revealed his hand. This is the play he wants to go for. This is where Tord feels comfortable in this matchup. How is Carson going to respond here? Is there a way for him to do it in this game, Azul? The big card that Tord has now given access to Carson that he was trying to avoid in the early game to give Carson too much reach was Counter Catcher. Counter Catcher is now active for Carson. Carson doesn't have to hit into this Absol, can start to chase the Pokemon off the bench. And honestly, one big damage counter here is that one damage counter on the Latias. Of course, there is still the Lively Stadium in play, but Carson's second jamming tower is in the deck. And you wouldn't have to find Halucha if you actually want to go for the Latias KO here. Avoid just building up more damage or too much damage on the board. That Monkey Dory could still move over to your side of the field. You could leave just the 5 on the Abstall, limiting the access to terminal period by KOing the Latias if you can find the jamming tower, and then just putting the 6 damage counters on the side up where there's the missed energy to nullify them.
He has gone for a Dust Skull here on this Ultra Ball, so could that be signifying the potential of going after Psyduck here, trying to build into a Dusknoir play in the future?
Yeah, we could see Carson get pretty aggressive here, maybe go after the Psyduck, get a couple Dust Skulls down to threaten Dusclops on the following turn.
It looks like another Dust Skull was found. As Carson is moving through this turn, let's quickly update the folks at home on the other games happening out on the floor. Ian has defeated Lance Bradshaw 2-1, so Ian will be moving forward. Hale won 2-0 up against Xander Perot, so that means Hale moves on to the top 4, and Aban Ahmed actually defeats Aiden Koos in that Gardevoir versus Zoroark matchup. Aban will move on.
Aban getting his revenge over Zoroark and moving one step closer to back-to-back-to-back finals. That would be pretty insane. Here from Carson, though, we do see him going for the play. He's brought up the Latias. He hasn't found the jamming tower yet, but he still has the 6 off Iono plus a Dracloak to work with.
And he is really going to be looking for it here. I don't think I see it in the hand yet. Azul, Dracloak's Recon Directive looking for jamming tower. Did he find it?
I don't see it there, but did draw into another counter catcher. So with the idea of trying to avoid leaving too much damage in play, we could go after a Monkey Dory here, then once again, target the Psyduck, let the damage fizzle, remove it from play effectively. Now it gets tough. We know what Carson wanted to see. Carson does not see it here. And this seemed like a pretty good line, to be honest. Now where do we go?
He's shaking his head. He's not excited about the spot he finds himself in, debating what to do now. Is this game just a little too far gone? He is going to attack in Latias. It is not KO'd. It does have 210 HP, but 30 extra HP thanks to the Lively Stadium in play. So 30 HP remaining for Latias. And will place the damage counters onto the binged Mega Absol EX.
Yeah, so just putting a ton of damage in play here from Carson, but this does leave enough damage in play. Inconvenient enough positions where another terminal period could be on the way. If Carson had went after something like the Monkey Dory here, we would have had 5 on Absol and 1 on the Latias, which means Tor would have had to have established a 3rd Monkey Dory to get 6 exactly onto the Dragapult. Now it's all too easy for Tor to pull off another terminal period. The question just is, where does the damage come from? The Monkey Dories have some options here. Another thing I would mention with that as well is Monkey Dory can only do so much. At a certain point, your opponent can have so much damage in play, it's not enough. I think Tord still feels pretty safe behind these 2 Adrenaline Brains coming up.
There's also a world where Penny gets used for Tord to heal some of this damage and allow him to establish that 3rd Monkey Dory with another energy card. That could lead to him KOing the Dracloak over on Carson's bench as well. So that is another line available.
We see the Arven coming down, so no Penny in hand. I think it was actually just 2 Arvens in the hand there for Tord. For the item card here, we don't have access to counter catcher. Honestly, there's just not that many good items in this deck. Like, after the turn 1 for Arven for Trolley, you're like, can I get a different supporter, please?
Yeah,
and
why am I playing these 4 Arvens in my
to find Pokegear, to find your other supporter. But it actually looks like Night Stretcher is going to be the grab here from Tord.
Night Stretcher will be used. Or grabbed at least. The only target in the discard pile, I believe, right now is that Mega Absol EX. No energy cards in the discard pile, just that 1 Mega Absol. So, Tord could maybe next turn go for a Penny, start to establish that, but I think at this point there's just literally no better item for him to take off the Arven.
Yeah, the Pokegear was there.
He is going to get the Mega Absol back. Or maybe he's not intending to play the Night Stretcher.
Yeah, I think that's supposed to be in his hand.
It's inadvertently made its way to the discard pile. So we'll get that sorted out. That Night Stretcher from Tord should either be being played or should be in his hand.
Yeah. Yeah, that'd be quite a waste of an Arven. Your whole supporter for turn to discard one of your most powerful item cards. Maybe most powerful item card.
So for Tord, he has moved the damage counters off of his Mega Absol EX onto the Dragapult. Terminal period is happening, and an energy attachment to Mega Kangaskhan means that rapid fire combo could be the play on the next turn. Just start to swing into this final Dragapult EX from Carson, which he is hoping to find here this turn. And 1 card short Azul. There is the jamming tower.
So for Carson here, it's going to be a little bit interesting. Carson can actually KO the active Absol.
And he actually, by just putting the stadium in play, will KO the Latias EX as well, Azul.
Yeah, we'll get the KO on the Latias EX, and then could attack with Ursaluna this turn to KO the Mega Absol. Drawing 5 prize cards, putting him 1 prize card away from winning the game. If you could back that up with an Iono, Tord would basically have to go all in on Kangaskhan and get a couple heads to actually get through the Ursaluna.
Yeah, Ursaluna having 260 HP means that Tord would need 2 heads to flip on the rapid fire combo of Mega Kangaskhan EX.
Okay.
At this point, though, I'm honestly questioning. It doesn't look like there's an Io in hand, so this play might not be able to come together for Carson. But pushing up the Dracloak makes it a lot harder for Carson to have to go through an Ursaluna and then get back into an attacker that could actually close out the game on the next turn.
He has Latias Turo, right? So he could pick up the Ursaluna, go into the Latias, retreat, sit into the Ursaluna to reset it.
But theoretically, Mega Kangaskhan would be the active Pokemon at that point. So I feels like maybe this Dracloak send up here from Carson was a mistake. Didn't end up drawing into the full combination of cards anyways. But now things are really awkward because it looks like we might not have the Ursaluna KO this turn. If this Absol survives like another turn, that's feeling almost like it's over, I feel like.
Hilda will be the supporter. Played here for Carson, searching the deck for an evolution Pokemon and an energy card. This leads to a Dragapult attack, if he so chooses. I think there is a Dragapult still in the deck. He may have it in his hand.
Yeah, I was going to say also, the Fezandipity is prized, so if we just played Jamming Tower, they would KO the Latias like you mentioned, and then we could draw cards with the Fezandipity to hope to find an Iono.
Assuming he takes it off the prizes,
Assuming
right?
he takes it off the prizes.
That's what he has to play towards, sure.
Yeah. But now we see the Hilda get committed to the Dusclops, and it'll have to be an attack with Dragapult or nothing. And attacking with Dragapult just leads to you losing the game, unless I see it, unless there's another play that I'm missing.
Here comes the energy attachment. There is the counter catcher being used. We'll bring up the Monkey Dory on Tord's side. Getting rid of that Adrenabrain option, of course. And he's going to place all 6 damage counters onto Latias EX to KO it. That's a 3 prize card turn here for Carson Washer. And that is not enough damage in play now for Tord to win with Terminal Period.
Yeah, so we take away the Terminal Period attack. There's only 5 damage counters in play. And this does, unless Tord can find another Monkey Dory, this does set up for the potential of the Ursaluna plus Jamming Tower to KO the Absol. Even if Tord uses the 1 Monkey Dory in play to move 3 over, Carson can just move it right back to the Absol.
Wow.
So now Tord needs to find a way to not lose to Ursaluna. And if he can do that, it's looking pretty good for Tord.
Mapping it all out here. Absol, 50 damage on it.
Does
get another. He does have the ability to get another Monkey Dory set up. He's got Nest Ball. He's got Night Stretcher.
How many Dark Energy are down, though, at this point? There's 4 gone.
Worst case scenario here, he could promote Monkey Dory and then retreat it, right?
And then recover the Dark Energy.
Recover the Darkness Energy, yes, with the Night Stretcher.
Latias is no longer in play, so the free retreat is not active. That would be, that could heal the 50 off, yeah.
Okay.
But of course, you want to be attacking, though, as well.
I do wonder here if Tord is debating Kangaskhan being his best win condition, which would be pretty wild. It would involve him flipping 3 heads. It looks like that is not going to be the case. He's going to kick off this turn with Nest Ball.
I guess that is the problem with setting up another Monkey Dory. That means you're not attacking this turn, which you do need to attack this turn as well as Tord. Otherwise, things are still probably pretty scary.
True. This is a good point. That's a good point. Well, he does have Energy Switch still. Oh, no, he'd used the Energy
Switch. Yeah, the Energy Switch is gone.
Energy Switch has been used. Yep. Nest Ball will find that Fezandipity EX. And he actually would only need 2 heads on the Rapid Fire combo to win because he could move 30 from the Absol in play to the Monkey Dory.
Is this really Tord's best out?
Absol has 2 retreat, right?
Yes.
I do believe it does. So Mega Absol with 2 retreats.
Latias could be recovered with the Night Stretcher, though, right?
Yep, sure. So could still retreat it for free.
We could also see Tord just go for an Iono plus a Claw of Darkness, if we can find an Iono off this Fez.
It doesn't look like he found Iono. He's got Boss, but that's not going to be helpful. Yeah, no Iono. There's Lily's Determination. Not super helpful here either.
No way to win the game. It's all about not losing the game or minimizing Carson's outs to win the game.
There is a way to win the game.
Yeah, but I don't think Tord wants to.
He doesn't want to go for it, that is for sure.
He wants something else. You don't feel good about Kangaskhan being your out.
What a ridiculous tournament this is, Azul. If we see this Kangaskhan end up attacking here, you know, after that Rowan moment earlier on in the day.
Plenty of potential for more Kangaskhan attacks later in the day as well.
Very true.
It's just Kangaskhan's time, it feels like. Tord is calculating everything, checking the resources from Carson. What are the possible outs? One of the underrated aspects of the game is resource management on your opponent's side of the field. It's not about just what you have left. It's about what your opponent has left as well. And is making a judgment call here. It looks like the Claw of Darkness is the move.
Okay, yes.
Attachment for turn after Night Stretcher brings back the Darkness energy. Still has ability to use Adrenabrain, of course, and the Claw of Darkness could rip a card here from Carson's hand. Not being able to combine this with an INO will feel pretty bad for Tord.
But I think the Jamming Tower is in the hand.
You're right as well, it is. It's right there, and I have to imagine that is the first thing Tord is going to be getting rid of.
And that might just spell game. I don't see a line for Carson after the Jamming Tower is removed from the hand and this lively stadium is stuck for the rest of the game. And it's something we highlighted as soon as Carson played that first Jamming Tower. Tord could always come out, or has a higher chance of coming out, potentially on the back and forth of the stadiums. It is going to come down to this Claw of Darkness, it looks like. But once the Stadium War is won, the lively stadiums carry so much value.
30 damage onto this active after the Adrenabrain. Tord will play the Arvin here. Searching for another Night Stretcher. Arvin for Night Stretcher, one of Tord's favorite plays.
Yes. We'll end up in the discard pile this time. Might switch it up. Could go to the hand first.
Yep.
Carson might correct him this time and be like, no, discard pile first.
Does end up adding it to the hand, and Claw of Darkness is the attack. And 210 damage onto the Dragapult, and goodbye Jamming Tower.
Yeah, I can't imagine anything else is the target here. Yep.
Just throwing it to the side. Disrespectful. Happy to get rid of that, though, is Tord. There is a Turo in hand for Carson, so pick up this damage Dragapult, attack with Ursaluna. That's a line, I guess.
Yeah, it is. Will Tord even be able to make another Monkey Door in the next turn? It's possible not. And it looks like...
Oh, is it going to be a confused play?
Is there an energy for the Mind Bend? Do you ever come out on top in a Mind Bend situation? Maybe Mind Bend into the Ursaluna is the line here from Carson. Nothing seems good.
Yeah, not having that Jamming Tower going down is huge here. And this game has taken a long time. We're down to 10 minutes remaining on the clock.
And from what we've seen from this game, how Tord wants to play the game and how Carson responded to it, I don't think anyone's going to be able to play optimally in this matchup in a Game 3.
Carson will use Professor Turo scenario. He does put down a couple Dreepy. He pushes up the Monkey Dory. He has expended so many energy cards as well. There is a Luminous in the prize cards. There are 5 energy in his discard pile. He is able to grab one more back here thanks to Night Stretcher, and it does indeed look like Mind Bend is his move. Confusing this active Mega Absol EX and placing 6 damage onto it.
Yeah, so not the strongest play we could see from Carson, but it does set up so Tord can't win the game. Tord cannot win on this next turn. I don't believe triple Monkey Dory. No, I don't think that's possible. So Tord needs a couple more turns to close this one out. It is limited on resources as well at this point. Final Night Stretcher is in the hand. A lot of energy has been gone through as well. It's a pretty important resource for Tord's deck. But with a single energy here, could just start swinging with the Mega Kangaskhan to start to close things out. If we can find a way to move the Absol, maybe you just hard retreat it, though.
Yeah, and that is what he's going to do. Retreating this Absol, 2 energy cards to the discard pile. He'll be able to attack with Terminal Period if he wants to in the future, as long as that damage stays on his side of the board, right? He can pop them over with Monkey Dory at any time. There is the energy card for the turn. He would need, I guess, another Monkey Dory worth noting. But yeah, happy to just attach this Kangaskhan. I don't think there's a way Carson could ever deal with it here. Looks like he's going in. It is time. Rapid fire combo, easily able to KO this Monkey Dory.
Yeah, ends up committing the Night Stretcher for the Latios to have the mobility for all the Pokemon in play. Counter Catcher, boss not going to be able to trap anything in the active anymore. Probably was going to Night Stretcher for the Dark Energy initially, but did find that missed, so that's more than enough. And now it looks like he's debating a boss's orders to go after a Dreepy, and he's going to go for a Dreepy here.
He will use the Adrenabrain to heal this Mega Absol. Rapid fire combo, hey, flip the coin, why not? Down goes the Dreepy. Carson here left with a board of Monkey Dory and Dreepy. It's gonna be an uphill battle, and it might be a hill he's unable to climb.
Yeah, it feels that way. We've also seen Tord increase his pace of play on that last one. Definitely very aware of how much time is remaining. And I have to imagine, especially if we do go into a Game 3 where Tord wins Game 2, less time is definitely going to favor Carson, the Badoo to slow things down from Tord initially to stop a potential trolley. leading into some kind of big dust snore play could definitely give Carson the prize lead in that one. And for right now, yeah, I don't think Carson has... Is it just another mind bend? I guess there's not another attacker set up on towards bench. You could delay it further with the mind bend. Maybe
the mind bend,
Can
though,
we
is
just
a little
one?
mist energy attached to
Oh,
this
that's
active
true.
Mega Kangaskhan.
Widzę.
I mean, Carson's play would have to be Ursaluna hit and, that's it. Ursaluna's the only thing he has that doesn't immediately get KO'd.
Yeah, and even then, Tord would just need a single heads off of the Kangaskhan comboed with the damage from the Monkey Dory. So
Or a boss's orders as well would do it, too.
Yep, that is true. The boss's orders would close it out. I think there's a boss in Tord's hand. Oh, I guess the Lively Stadium does help
Lively
Carson
Stadium
here a
does
little bit.
boost that HP of Blood Moon here.
Yeah, so one Monkey Dory use would not be enough. A penny on the Monkey Dory, I guess, could get there. And there is the Ursaluna established from Carson. Is going to retreat into it. Does have a boss, so could look for a prize card this turn. You could even go after the Monkey Dory to remove that as an option from Tord. And then Countercatcher would still be live on the next turn. Is there a possibility for a... Oh, he's going after the Absol, actually.
It does have free retreat with Latias in play, so I don't know necessarily what that
No
accomplishes.
właśnie, co my tu chcemy ugrać?
Yeah, I'm not sure. Does commit to it.
Will be the move. He does retreat to this Monkey Dory. He hits with Blood Moon, and Tord has boss's orders in hand, able to take out the bench Pokemon, and Tord Reklev has tied
Ale
us
czasu
up.
zostało bardzo
6
mało.
minutes on the clock,
Teraz
headed to game
konkurs,
3.
kto weźmie pierwszego
Yep,
prizа.
not a ton of time left in this one, and so much control potential on Carson's side with that Badoo. Now that he is going second, we didn't see the Badoo come out in either game 1 or 2. Because game 1, Tord opened the trolley, and that's the card you're trying to stop here with the Badoo. In the game 2, Tord went second, of course, and found the trolley on the first turn before the Itchy Pollen from the Badoo could be established. So will we finally see
Więc game free jest.
the Itchy Pollen have an effect, or will, like most of our other Mega Absol players, will they just open turn 1 with the trolley in their hand? We've seen it so many times this weekend already.
We definitely have. It feels destined almost. Yeah, Carson there kind of left reeling, shaking his head a little bit, kind of wondering where things went wrong. And where do you think that was for Carson in this last game?
Yeah, you're definitely questioning things as Carson there because you saw how Tord approached it. I don't think Carson expected it to go that way. The aggressive jamming tower did suggest that he was aware that Tord maybe would want to follow up with another Turbo Energize, and I think that was overall, when we look back on it, with how slow Tord decided to play it, if Tord had even used the Turbo Energize, would he have even attacked on that following turn? I don't think so. I think the jamming towers were overextended by Carson for sure in that first game, and hopefully we see him adjust slightly going into this next one.
No i tak, mamy grę trzecią.
These players are setting out their opening hands. Taking a quick look, it really doesn't look that strong for either of these players, to be honest. We'll get into it as they start their early turns here, but does not look the best. But very excited to get into this game and see who's going to be able to come away with this one. Of course, these players are playing in our asymmetrical top cut. The winner here will move on to top 8. And the handshake has been extended. We're getting into this game 3. Tord has started Pheasantipity going first, and what a top deck there! Precious trolley found immediately for Tord. He had nothing going on in this hand, Azul.
Dude, they can't keep getting away with this, man. Like, this is absurd. We've seen so many turn 1 trolleys going first for this Mega Absol. Kangaskhan deck, insane top deck, and yet Tord's hand, no other Pokemon, no Nestle. Did have the Pokegear, so if there was no Badoo from Carson, could have found the Arven for the following turn, which is way more reasonable for the tempo of this deck usually. But the trolley off the top is exactly what Tord was looking for.
Absolutely disgusting, to be honest, for Tord to find that. But hey, that's how it rolls sometimes, and that is going to pay off nicely. Looking at the prize cards here for Tord, a couple supporters with the penny and the boss's orders. There was that one of energy switch, which has been used very effectively throughout the course of this tournament for really all of our Mega Absol players. Yeah. But perhaps the biggest deal here, Azul, a pair of darkness energy. That's going to put a lot of pressure on Tord's attachments.
Yeah, it might not be as it might not be as big of a deal in this game because Tord is probably going to be more aggressive than he would normally be. He's not going to try and Turbo Energize twice or establish a bunch of energy. There's only 3 minutes left, which means drawing prize cards fast is probably going to be the route. We actually see Tord completely give up on the Monkey Doors.
That is all 4 of his Mega Pokemon right away, and Tord recognizing the situation here. So for the folks at home, here, 3 minutes left on the clock. We are in single elimination. We must have a winner. There are no ties available. Normally in Swiss, when these players would get to a situation where time is called, you finish the current turn, that's turn 0, you play +1 turn, and whoever is the winner after that is the winner. But if there's no clear-cut winner, it's a tie, right? We have to have a winner here in single elimination. So at that point, after +1 turns, it would be the player who is ahead on prize cards would be the one who is ahead. And that is a position that Tord is going to be very favored in right now. He found the trolley. He has Turbo Energize, I believe, in the hand. A couple of energy added here as well. He will be able to be the aggressor.
Yeah, he's going to still be one turn removed from that, of course, going first here. Although it feels like he's going second because he's playing the trolley. Going to have to Turbo Energize on that following turn. But, yeah, identifying prize cards are important. And one valuable thing, now Mega Pokemon are worth 3 prize cards, so they'll have a lot more HP. They're a lot harder to KO.
Yep.
I was going to mention that the Fez here from Tord, in a more traditional way this matchup would play out, doesn't feel great because it kind of clogs your board with non-Monkey Dories or Psyducks. But in this situation, I don't think you care as Tord. You're almost maybe happy it's not a Monkey Dory.
There's a Darkness Energy being attached to the Mega Absol. Tord playing through all of his item cards before the potential of Badoo for Carson is able to come through. Looking at the top 7 here with this Pokegear 3.0, there is a Penny. Looks like an Arven as another choice. He already has an Iono in the hand.
And a Turbo Energize, so I feel like Penny has to be the grab here just to have something a little bit different. A boss, I'm sure, is what he was looking for, but...
It is interesting to see the Arven being grabbed, though. Carson is playing 4 Iono in his deck, so if Carson was to play Iono, that sends an Arven and a Team Turbo Energize to the bottom of the deck, decreasing towards outs to find it next turn.
Yeah, I think I like the Penny a little bit more for that exact reason. We just want to find Turbo Energize next turn. That is the goal, to have as much pressure and threats as possible, even though Tord, if he just manually attaches...
Carson's got nothing.
Oh no.
It's Halucha, Double Dracloak, Energy.
Is there an Ultra Ball?
No, it's a counter catcher.
Oh man.
Yeah, Carson has nothing, man. He's got no supporter, no Buddy Poffin, no Ultra Ball. Luckily for him, he won't lose this next turn because Tord can't pull off an attack. I don't think. He can go for Terminal Period, but there's no damage in play. So Carson won't just immediately lose, but...
Dosłownie źle.
Oh, this is almost a writing on the wall situation.
Yeah, that is tough. Drawing that slow in this situation where you need to draw fast. And that's kind of what we're talking about with how Tord is playing this. Tord is playing fast. And with only 17 seconds left...
Yep.
Źle.
Tord's going to be turn 0 here.
Yep, looks like Tord will be turn 0, which means Carson will be turn 1, and then at that point, the player who's at home prize cards would win, and there's no way Carson can draw a prize card on the following turn, so that would then follow up with Tord, using Claw of Darkness to close things out here in this one.
That is going to be time. Tord is officially turn 0. Carson will be turn 1. Now, if Carson can find a way to take a prize card next turn, he would actually just win the game, because he would be ahead on prize cards. Tord can't take a prize card here, but... that's not happening. Carson has no way to deal 210 damage. That is the least amount of HP that a Pokemon on Tord's side of the field has. And then Tord, after a Turbo Energize, will have his attackers set up, ready to go.
Yeah, if we all forget how Ursaluna works, maybe, like, simultaneously, there would be an out here for Carson. But, yeah, there's basically nothing to be done at this point. Tord is just going through the motions at this point in terms of just analyzing, making sure there's no way to possibly lose the game.
That's what you want to do here in this spot, right? There's no reason to play super quickly and give yourself a lose condition. There is no ability, I should mention, for the Turbo Energize, right, with Jamming Tower being in play, so he can't do that, but he can set up for Claw of Darkness next turn.
Yeah, we'll have to go through the manual attach route. The supporters in hand, I think it's an Arven and an Iono are just going to hold on to all of that.
We'll see what Carson has.
Jest duszak.
Well, you don't lose in 2 ways, I guess, then. Oh, hold up.
I mean, the only way for him to not immediately lose is to find Ursaluna and push it to the active spot, right?
Yeah. Ursaluna to the active, and even then, things would be looking pretty grim.
And it doesn't look like he even has that. He, at this point, has to cross his fingers. Tord doesn't have an energy card, but if Tord has an energy here, he will just win this game, and he will be the one moving on to top cut.
Yeah, we did see that missed energy on the last turn, and he's going to go ahead and just show it over to Carson.
Yes.
And there we go. Tord Reklev advances on to top 8 over Carson in this one. That Mega Afro deck's working out pretty well for him so far.
Really unfortunate to see the game kind of conclude in that way. We had a really fun back and forth game 1 and game number 2.
Jakby na to nie patrzeć.
That resulted in each of these players coming away with one.
Jakby na...
Tord just able to kind of roll over Carson in this spot.
To było już skazane na porażkę.
He's playing in only his second ever regional championship in the Masters
tak,
division.
Reklev
He has
top
made it
8.
to one of the best 11 players in the whole tournament, something that he should definitely be very proud of.
Yeah, definitely. Played really, really well in that game 1, making the reads when Tord didn't get the Psyduck, taking advantage of being aggressive, making good calls in that situation. Maybe some mishaps in the game 2. The Jamming Tower
wygrywa
Probably came down
osoba,
a little
która
bit too early. And
właśnie
even
zdobędzie
there, maybe played a
pierwszego
little too
Brave'a.
passive, played a
No i
little too
Rekles
much into
zdobył
towards
pierwszego
game
Brave'a.
plan, but like you said, he's young, a lot to learn, and who better to learn it from than toward Reklev? Sure, you lose here, but you lose to one of the best in the game and can only walk away a better player.
I don't think we've seen the last of Carson Washer, that is for sure.
Oczywiście
Let's
jeszcze
get
uda.
a recap of this game, this top cut match, and it was a great start for Tord, finding that precious trolley in game number 1. Carson was the one who was able to get ahead here, starting to attack into those 2 prize Pokemon, taking multiple prize cards, jumping ahead, and then eventually winning game number 1 with a 5 prize turn.
Yeah, the lack of sight out there, able to overwhelm and take it over. And then, yeah, into game 2
Oh,
here,
that's
Tord got to do everything he wanted to. Slow things down, attach energy for turn and pass. And that's what he was setting up for the whole time. Carson was aggressive with that jamming tower. But in the end, it ended up biting him a bit there, not having that counter standing for the lively stadium at the end to give himself a chance to use the Ursaluna. And Tord was able to keep his Pokemon tanky and poke it out.
And Carson recognized the situation here in that last one. Nothing he could have done any differently. I do feel like in that turns scenario, Tord is the one who's ultimately probably favored, right? It's the one that can be the aggressor. And it depends on how, at what point in a game time is called, right? If it's going to be on like the third or fourth turn, it feels like Tord is going to be the one who's favored. But if it's a bit deeper into the game, it really could be either way.
Yeah, definitely. It really comes down to, does the Badoo slow him down, right? And we saw there, not only was there not a chance for the Badoo, Tord found the trolley on the first turn of the game. But did he top deck it again?
It's go time.
No, he had a one. Yeah. Was it too crazy? A little crazy. But even then, if Tord didn't just have a couple basic Pokemon in play, he could use the trolley. But in that opening hand, he had no basic Pokemon besides the sensitivity. Already is a little bit of a stuff to start because that is a low HP Pokemon that Dragon Ball can KO aggressively for 2 prize cards with a Hawlucha or a Dusclops. Gave a potential option over to Carson until the trolley was top deck, and then things got out of hand from there.
So let's just give another quick little update on the rest of the matches for anyone who is just tuning in. So Abonamed has defeated KD Goose in their asymmetrical cut match on Posey moving on to top 8 with his Gardevoir deck, able to take down fully placing off the screen and Salazar there. He'll over no take down Peter Perot.
Czyli w top 8 jest Mars z Grinsnią, mamy Jackson Roba, Jana Roba, Rowan Strawo, Nerorgard z meduzami. Same Petro nie wiem, Rekle nie wiem, że grałem w tym absolutnie. Galskanem, Jackson Fort nie wiem. No, do top 4 już dostał się Hulk Ober. I top 8 też mamy właśnie ponownie Abana Meda. Trzeba przyznać. Mamy już ukształtowane top 8.
Back to the start. You got this.
The Mega Athletic is so new. Yeah, Charizard specifically has been kind of off the board for a little while, but it's getting its appearance here.
Well, that was a great first asymmetrical top cut match. We're going to take a quick little break, but we will be back very soon for top cut. Every Pokemon trainer has one dream: to rock the crowd like Jacob Van Wagner, to shock the world like Shintaro, or to topple the very best like Vegas. Each year, there comes one stage big enough to etch your name into the Hall of Fame, the Pokemon World Championships. Over 1,400 TCG trainers journeyed from across the globe to take their shot at glory, but only one junior, one senior, and one Masters Division player can claim the title of champion. The juniors finals pitted U.S. player Jose Cruz Galindo Resendez against Yuya Okita from Japan. Jose was using Dragapult EX paired with Dusknoir and Monkey Dory, hoping that grouping some of the most powerful cards in the format would earn him that round. But Yuya's Raging Bolt EX deck had other plans. In both Game 1 and Game 2, Yuya's Raging Bolt with its Thunderburst Storm was able to rain down damage across the board, always targeting the Pokemon that Jose was trying to establish. This strategy proved effective as Yuya Okita won 2-0 and became the Junior Division World Champion. The seniors
those objectives.
Okej,
Are you a
będzie
completionist?
z Rostaranos. O Boże, Mirror.
What is happening, my friend? The name's Slappy. Looks like Izzy volunteered me for the stop on the tour. Makes sense, seeing as me and the crew I roll with are into rigging spots. I'll fill you in on Sandvan's quick draw. DIYer's dream tool. I've got just the spot. Let's roll.
In the Masters finals, Canada's Riley McKay made it to the big stage once again just weeks after his breakout NAIC second place finish. He built on his previous success by playing a very similar Gardevoir EX deck. His opponent was first-year Masters player Justin
Okay,
from the U.S.
let's start building with the handy toolbox. It's so sick. Quick drop, you place objects in the city where every builder is... Yep, that's about it. Get some practice and throw a few objects down.
Ultimately, both games came down to Riley using Lily's Clefairy EX to one-hit KO his opponent's
Czekam,
Dragon
Milwaukee będzie jeszcze Lil.
Justin saw the writing on the
Tak,
wall,
ale
extended his hand,
będzie
and
Lil.
conceded the final match to 2025 World Champion Riley McKay.
Quick drop is super useful. Climbing, decorating, spot fixing. Me and the crew are always coming up with new stuff for the catalog, too.
The 2025 World Championships is one we won't soon forget, but the next
No,
Pokemon
even na
season
pewno
is
będzie.
already on the horizon. Visit Pokemon.com/compete to learn how you can get in on the action and take your shot at becoming the next World Champion.
Hello, Pokemon fans. I have a very fun game here, and I needed a Pokemon expert with me, ladies and gentlemen.
Hell yeah, I like your choices. Now it's time for the good stuff.
How much do
Skating.
you know your cards toward? You know what? I'm really good at what they do, but as far as the artworks go, I'm not feeling
Sweet,
very comfortable.
looks like you're figuring it out.
All you read is
I
the
don't even
text,
know
not
how
the
it
artwork.
works.
Oh boy, we're gonna test you there. Okay, so we're gonna be playing just who's that Pokemon type of thing. I have cards
Okay.
zoomed in my phone, and Tord has to tell me what those cards are. Very simple. How about we start with the first one? Tord, who's this Pokemon?
Ah, shoot. I just saw the dang footnotes. Apparently you can inspect
I'll
drop
say
items for more
Duskull.
details.
Well, like it's like a little black silhouette over it.
Wow.
No, I was just messing with you. It is Duskull. It's the top part of Duskull, his hairline. All right, okay. Maybe that was too easy. That was a meta card. This one's a little bit tougher. I'm so sorry, Tord. That could be like Gengar's teeth, I feel like, or maybe Bandit.
Trzeba Google.
Ooh. Actually, it actually looks a little bit more like Bandit than Gengar. Looking more at. Okay, I'm gonna look in Bandit. You're correct. That one's a good one. Yeah, I was like, oh, it does look like Gengar's teeth, but Bennett he doesn't brush as much, I guess. all right, Tori, how about this one? Ooh. No, I'm pretty sure that has to be Mimikyu, right?
Oh.
Okay, I gave you a free one. All right, Tor, you know your art. You know your art. This one. Is that like, I want to say Drifloon, I don't know why.
No właśnie.
I'm surprised you're struggling with that one. It is Drifloon. It is shiny and I took like one part. Okay, fair enough, fair enough. All right, how about this one? Kind of looks like a wishy-washy or something. Or like the... I chose only cards that have seen play, I think. Oh, I see. This card is, it's meta relevant right now. Did I get like another hint? I'm so lost on this one.
Pretty handy when you need to re-rig
It has an ability.
Okay, let's see how
It's an
many
ability,
points
it's
we can
never
score on our
relevant
little
right
build-a-spot.
Could get one wrong, Tord. Let me take the point. Alright, yeah, I'm gonna pass on this one. Is that Pikachu? No, okay, it's Frostlass. It's Frostlass's tummy. All right, so okay, Tord, if you get this one wrong, I don't know. Just drug a bullet.
Damn, you've got some good placement chops.
No,
And even
definitely.
better skating skills.
You locked in. You were so confident. I didn't give you another chance there.
Właśnie, to jest to.
Remember,
Let me check
anything's a
if I have
spot
more.
if you've got the tools.
Wait. Got this one.
Alright, Building a spot in an open lot is one thing, but skating is about car.
It's Grimstall's finger. Okay,
Wooden
that one I
whoopie-doo
zoomed
with
in a lot.
scenic ocean views.
Okay, it makes sense.
Enjoy the sesh.
Alright, how about this one?
That's your cue.
O,
We literally just talked about this one. No.
veterans.
It is veteran. Good job. Okay, I tried to choose a different art. Okay, let's skip this one. How about? No, yeah, no, it was a little bit too easy. This one, sort of last one. Is Monkey Dory EX? I thought the regular one was a little bit. I'm sure everyone was staring at that Pokemon already, but I wanted to get Monkey Dory. Good job, Torn. I think you only got one wrong. Two wrong. You didn't get Dracloak. No, but thank you so much. That was a lot of fun. With that, ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna throw it back to more Pokemon.
Serio, będziemy widzieli miar kardy władzy. W sumie, który z tych... Kto by okaże się lepszy? Ktoś.
Okay, this time.
Hello, Pokemon fans. Welcome back to our TCG coverage here of the Milwaukee Regional Championships. We've got all of our players settling down to just the mere 8 as we move into our top 8 cup. I'm Kyle Sablehouse. Here with me, Pablo Meza. She's got a great one here lined up. So many amazing players making that top 8. Gotta pick one match. I'm pretty excited about this one.
Oh my, and I'd love to see like a Google picture of the debate and have that deck ready to go. We can showcase we just saw the eventual Pokemon take place for the rest of the season. We did Carson Watcher and that's really exciting back and forth match. But now that means our of the take a look at that.
Yeah, we've got all of our decks that are
Reload.
to the top 8. Pretty diverse that we've seen as far as the
Oho.
Mega Apps.
Czy jeden Charizard się nie dostał?
But there are a
Czekajcie,
couple
że to mamy
of
aż
decks that
absolutnie.
surprised you. Well, one notably
Wygardy
for me
swoje
is
na ten
Brain Cell.
straight i jeden Greenstar. Takiej mety to jeszcze nie widzieliśmy.
And I mean, there's a very clear trend here, Kyle. It's purple
O
versus black.
kurwa.
There's half, 3 purple decks and
TikTok. Time for
Absolutnie.
halfway.
dark type really
Trzy
trying to
gardy.
make sure that Garber
Chyba
is
najbardziej...
good. And we saw it in Pittsburgh, right? Pittsburgh was taken down by Warren and that field of
Jest
Gardevoir
tylko A, czyli Jackson Port gra Charizardem z duszkami. Mamy jednego Greensnara, zatem mamy 3 Gardewary, z czego jeden jest straight.
Let's see which one it is as we go to the table.
Uwaga, uwaga. A co z Pengaskanem? O matko. To przysłyszałem, że to będzie aż takie dobre. Przecież Robert, take my money.
That's gonna be very, very interesting to see how players react to the other person having basically the same deck. I wonder if these two are friends and they're playing the same 60 cards.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me. Both these players, not only is it a mirror match as far as what we see with the deck choice, but also their history in the TCG. So storied and also coming from the junior division with so much success. Me and Rob was a finalist.
Zaraz przejdziemy do Mirrora, tak zwanego. Kanałów mają swoje pomysły. Ale tak, przechodzimy do Mirrorów.
Those secret box available for Ian and a lot of energy prize for Rowan. Out of your 10 energy, especially that dark energy at the very top, that means that like triple monkey dory plays will be very, very difficult. If that's our last prize card, Rowan could have a little bit of trouble setting up the same amount of monkey dories to match Ian.
Let's give it another go.
Certainly going to have to look out for that as we move forward in our game. Nervous about those psychic energies as well for Rowan. And the setup for Ian could be a bit tricky. Those cards like the Secret Box, the Lily's Determination, one of the toughest ones as well.
As far as I can see from the deck list,
is near. Get your hustle on. The air suited you. Good work.
You are going to miss out on some energies in the prize cards.
Alright,
Well,
building a spot in an open lot is one thing, but skating is about cars. Jumping on cars or over them. I've actually got an idea.
We'll get some of that unfortunate news there.
O, który będzie
That was
konkurs.
the energy.
Yeah, you didn't put too many energies to the back of the deck. 3 in play, 3 in the
Z
system.
czego się nie było
The rest of the hand.
Yeah.
No.
Doesn't line up for very much else. And now I'm a little nervous about what else is in that hand.
I think I saw an Ultimate, might have seen the quarter, I'm not sure yet. Now, did you see that Rowan is only playing one copy of Lulu's Determination, whereas Ian is playing more, so that's a huge difference. Rowan just going with the classic Professor Research more so than the brand new quarter. I wonder if that's going to come into play in a major way.
To jest
Yeah,
mirror.
that may speak to the strategy for Rowan is really focused on making sure that there's entries with the discard pile early on, not as conscious about the preservation of those resources, but also may speak to the fact that he's ready to take 5 cards. 6-card shuffle is not nearly as good as discard 7 sometimes.
Major difference you also see is that Rowan is focused more on the Arvin, that was how important that secret spot is. Whereas Ian is more chill about it. He's like, he's happy to see the secret box. But yeah, it's not available right now, and he only had 1 Arvin anyway, which coincidentally he has in his hand right now.
Oh no, the bad news. It will just continue to pile up here. Every once in a while, we find out. Thankfully, we find out from Artisan, if you want to call that thankful, may survive. May mean that his supporter could be a better one than just the Arvin.
Yeah, I think he's just now realized that gold he just did was, well, Secret Box is not available, and Secret Box is just so powerful, right? You can Arvin for it, and then that immediately gives you your follow-up supporter for the next turn, or if you get Iono, then you know you're getting a threat in hand, but that's not possible right now for Ian, despite having that Arvin accessibility. So we'll have to see how he approaches it.
Chcę mało simplified
The item block from the Brillish as opposed to establishing a route in this Guard of Warfare match.
Yeah, which often you do find in this mirror. You want to establish that item lock, slow things down, and then start to build up on your board. And then start to take advantage of one certain aspect from your opponent, whether it be you can pick on the Gardevoir line while they're trying to set that up, or if you can take away some of their other resources like one more. You don't want to see the damage.
No, na szczęście w Polsce jeszcze nie ma takiej eskalacji.
I mean, we know we've been talking a lot about Gardevoir, that you make an absolute deck and whatnot, but the one thing every deck seems to have in common is Monkey Dory, right? It feels like it's Monkey Dory's world, and we are all just living in it, Kyle.
That's right. The Jenna brain goes crazy. It's something we all need to be looking out for. And we do see the early Brillish with the TM evolution. You expect to see Jellicent this early. It's sometimes you want to bank on that Brillish for a few turns.
Yeah, I mean, based on how Rowan also prioritized that Jellicent, I want to say yes. Now, I do believe that
Dostosuję.
because of the lack of Secret Box, Ian's hand is now
Acz kto wie,
there's
czy...
no follow-up to this. And yeah, Secret Box could have done the exact same thing, go for the conclusion or whatnot, but oh, is there a support there? I don't know if I saw one. Might have been a Lily, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, prioritize the Arvin, has what he needs. Will
Kurde, nie
use
mieliśmy
the
blisko
team evolution,
tego
but what
punktu.
else do you have to work with? And we should mention in this mirror match, when you have the Jellicents, one of the big ways
też
to
już
move around
przygotuję
this
Jamesa.
would be a boss's orders. Neither player featuring that
Okej,
card.
no, Fez ataczuje.
Rowan attach an energy to that Serendipity, and that's a research discarding one rare candy, and the other one is also right here. So that's good information to have. At the end, you can make the calculated guess that your opponent doesn't play more than 2 copies of rare candy, and of course with the item block present,
No.
that means
rare candy doesn't factor in at all.
Okay.
However, if at any point you end up switching gears and not using the item lock, then you know, or you can accurately predict that Rowan probably doesn't have access to a guard war until there's a Kirlia in play.
Yeah, things to consider when you know that this list will feature a TM devolution. So if damage is placed enough, you have that triple Monkey Dory potentially. Push all that over to a Kirlia, then de-evolve. It's very unlikely that you're going to see that Pokemon return, as you've already seen the Kirlia. The rare candies are no longer there. Seen what this means now for Rowan. Discarding one of those precious dark energies, especially when you know that item lock could be something to worry about. One in the prize card too. Monkey Dory movements.
Okay, klafery, ma to sens.
Yeah, just based on the hefty discard so far for Rowan, that alone could make the difference, right? We're just starting out. This is still 6 to 6. This is only turn 2, but these differences are right. So he's really gonna prioritize putting that dark energy back, utilizing the resource of Super Rod.
Yeah, very smart there. He needed to cash in on that right now, and we see the Jellicent. There was no TM evolution, so no Kirlia to go along with this. So a bit slower on Rowan's side. However, now for Ian, he'll have some decisions to make. He can move into his own item lock. He could include some confusion here. He wants to make this a rougher time for the Jellicent. A lot of different ways to go here, Pablo.
Many options, already the Gardevoir established, and a research to follow it up. Discarding a Psychic Energy. I believe there's another one in the discard pile. Now, you get the first early aggression with your Gardevoir. You already have a Dark established to your opponent's none. If you're able to get like 2 Monkey Dories online here, you would have such a big advantage. However, we see the attachment onto the Jellicent.
Yeah, locking in this item lock makes a ton of sense. Your opponent didn't do too much. They super rotted a dark energy. Their resources aren't being used as well. It's a single Ralts, as your opponent needs to evolve that, and it has to be this turn. You need to see Kirlia immediately so that Gardevoir is available when this Jellicent could likely be knocked out next turn with a few additional energies added.
I love the Jellicent art where it looks like they're really angry, and since they're both in the active, it's like they're really angry at each other. They just don't want to see the other one in the active right now. Locking items, locking tool cards, and by locking Technical Machine Evolution, could make it, and Ultraviolet of course, could make it difficult for Rowan to get to Gardevoir eventually.
Yeah, the mirror match is truly a mirror at this point. I've seen so much jelly at this point.
Jelly sense right now.
No peanut butter anywhere.
All right, now Rowan figuring out exactly what to do. Can match the 80 damage from. Oh no, wait, he just attached Monkey Dory. Never mind. He cannot. Yeah, Rowan's just not going to be able to attack this turn.
And the Lily's determination. We know that this is just that one single copy. To have that through item lock, nice to see. 8 cards can be bound, and maybe there's something that can help out in this situation. You can't attack. Maybe it's just foolish at this point to have another resource to help out and keep item lock going when you're fighting some time.
I mean, how effective is the item lock at this stage when there's just everything on the board, right? You're denying